Richard and the Unwanted Visitor.
Richard is the engine on the island of SODOR that pulls the boat train from Knapford to Brendam. He is a kind soul that wants to do his job and is very kind to the other engines.
Richard once overtook the express when pulled in the boat train. His performance was so good that the boat train was upgraded back to express services, although the Fat Controller warns him to never undertake on the slow line. And when he's not pulling the boat train, he's doing fast-paced goods trains on the main line, helping out BOCO with heavier goods trains. And he always gets the trains delivered ahead of schedule. And when Gordon is out of action, he thunders down the line pulling the express. And sometimes he goes on the branch lines doing branch line duties, going at a slower pace. But today, Richard was in for a certain surprise. Richard puffed to Knapford Station. Sir Topham Hatt wanted to speak with him. He pulled into the platform, where Sir Topham Hatt was waiting.
Richard, I'm glad to see you. There'll be a new engine that'll be coming here on loan, and I wanted you to meet him. Yes, sir. I'd love to meet this new engine that's on loan. When is he coming?
Soon, a big tender engine with jet black paint and with a long line of coaches pulled into Knapford Station. The engine whistled long and loud as it puffed into this platform. Its puffs from its cylinders sounded like roars from a tiger, and clouds of steam from its funnel soared high into the air. And its side rods moved like claws across the rails as it pulled into a platform. The engine screeched to a halt with very squeaky brakes. And it wheezed long and loud. Richard had never seen an engine like it. He was a bit intimidated by its presence. The large tender engine slowly puffed out of the station, leaving its coaches on the platform. Later that day, Richard had puffed into Knapford's sheds, looking for a long rest after a long day of work. He sat there to rest until his next goods train.
Hi there, Bear. Oh, hi, Richard. Who is that engine over there? Oh, him? That engine is Dudley. He has a huge distaste for us diesels. He is a very manipulative engine, and you should never trust anything he says.
Soon, a tired Dennis rolled into the sheds.
Finally, after a long day of work, now I can rest. And why are you here? What do you mean? I always sit here.
A diesel like you shouldn't be here.
I know the man that has painted us diesels in the lightest shade of paint, but I'm not that bad of a guy, you know. I'm very useful on this railway, too.
You useful? There were only 2 of you made. Besides, weren't you meant to be scrapped?
Screw you, I'm going to sleep somewhere else.
Later that evening, Richard puffed into Tidmouth sheds, resting before his run with the boat train. You know, I I know you all aren't going to forgive me for what I've done the last time I was here, and I know none of you are going to let it go. But I can assure you that I'm a changed engine. You don't have to believe me, but it's true. Richard wanted to say something, but he stayed respectfully silent. But my stay is a temporary one, so I'll leave these sheds if you don't want me here. And with that, Dudley silently puffed away from the sheds. But as soon as he puffed away from the sheds, he noticed something in the sidings. He noticed a utility fan and 5 coaches behind it. Soon, Ginty reversed right next to Dudley.
Hi there, are you one of the new loaned engines?
Why, yes, I am. What is that train in that siding?
Oh, that's the boat train. Richard always takes it. He once overtook the express while pulling the boat train.
Uh-huh. I see. Is there a way I could take the boat train?
Only if Richard is out of action. But you'll have to speak to the Fat Controller about that.
I see. Dudley thought for a moment. But then he had a very, very devious idea.
Who's there?
It's just me, Richard.
Okay, why'd you wake me up? I have the boat train in a couple of hours.
Well, the reason is actually right in front of you.
What could be so important to you? Oh my god! Someone booked the scene? No, now I'm gonna be extremely late. The Fat Controller's not gonna be happy with me.
Don't beat yourself up about it, Richard. Besides, I think I have a pretty good idea on who did this. Soon, Dudley started thundering down the main line with the boat train. Soon, Dudley had pulled into Crosby Station, thinking that his plan had worked. Although, unbeknownst to him, someone had been watching the whole time.
I knew he couldn't be trusted.
Soon, Dudley pulled into Abbey Station, quite proud of himself. He thought he had gotten away with his plans. Well, that was a fine run.
Why, yes it was. The jig is up, Dudley. We know what you're planning. What? How did you escape the sheds? I jammed the turntable. I helped them. The question is, how'd you know they were trapped? That is a very good question, Henry. So, Dudley, first you trap one of my engines, then you steal their train. What do you have to say for yourself?
Yes, it was all me.
I'm still an engine in its prime. You cannot do this to me. Well, I gave you a second chance, and I'll send you away again now. Get out of here, Dudley, now. Fine, but mark my words, Richard. I will return, and you will be sorry.
And with that, Dudley soon left the island of Sodor for a second time. This time, hopefully for good.
Are you okay, Richard?
Yeah, it's just that...
What if he does come back, Henry? We won't let that happen, Richard.
Thanks.
I'll better get these passengers home now. See you soon, Henry.